I was just trying to help when my boss Daniel asked me to stay late and move some office stuff. The elevator ride to the storage floor should have taken only 30 seconds. Instead, we were stuck for 3 hours. And by the time we got out, everything between us was different. This is a true story about love and connections that happen in the most surprising places. Now, let me tell you what happened in that elevator. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm 26 and I work in marketing for a tech company in Chicago. It's one of those modern office buildings with glass walls and elevators that usually work just fine. Usually, my boss, Daniel, is 39, divorced, and one of the most professional people I know. He's always been nice, but he keeps his distance from people at work. Never weird, never too personal, just friendly enough to have a good work relationship. I also have to admit he's very good looking. But he's my boss, so I've always kept that, thought to myself. Daniel has a way about him that makes people respect him. He's sure of himself without being arrogant and smart, without making you feel dumb. He always dresses well in nice suits or blazers. He has some gray in his hair that's always styled just right, and his blue eyes are sharp, like they see everything. The company was making some changes and we were moving departments around. It was a Friday evening and most people had already gone home. Daniel asked if I could stay late to help move some heavy computers from our floor to the storage area. On the 12th floor, I really appreciate this. Emily, he said as we loaded a cart. I know you probably have better things to do on a Friday. It's really no problem, I answered. Happy to help. We rolled the cart to the elevators. Daniel pushed the button and a car arrived with a soft ding. We pushed the cart inside and Daniel pressed the button for the 12th floor. This shouldn't take long, he said, looking at his watch. Maybe 30 minutes, and then you can go. The elevator started going down smoothly. We were on the 18th floor, so it should have been a fast ride, but between the 16th and 15th floors, there was a loud grinding sound, a sudden jerk, and then nothing. The elevator stopped, huh? Daniel said, pushing the button for the 12th floor again. Nothing. He tried the door open button. Still nothing. That's weird, I said, pushing the alarm button. We could hear it ringing somewhere, but it was Friday evening. Who would hear it? Daniel took out his phone. No signal, he said, showing me the screen. I checked mine. Same thing. Okay, don't panic, Daniel said, though his voice sounded a little strained. This happens sometimes. Building maintenance will see it and get us out. We stood there for a few minutes in a weird silence. The elevator was big enough for us and the cart, but being trapped with your boss makes things tense. How long do you think we'll be stuck? I asked. Hopefully not long, Daniel said, but he was pushing the alarm button over and over. The building has security. Someone will notice. 30 minutes went by, then an hour, then 2. Daniel went from being calm and professional to clearly nervous. He took off his jacket and rolled up his sleeves. For the first time, he looked like he could be hurt. I'm sorry about this, Emily, he said, sitting down on the elevator floor. This is not how I wanted your Friday night to go. It's not your fault, I said, sitting across from him. These things happen, do they? He asked with a nervous laugh. Because in 6 years here, I've never been stuck in an elevator. We sat quietly for a while. The emergency light made strange shadows. I found myself really looking at Daniel for the first time. Without his usual professional mask, he seemed different, more human. Can I ask you something? He said all of a sudden. Sure, do you like working here? I mean, really like it. It was a strange question to ask right then. Yeah, I do. Why? I sometimes wonder if people are just being nice when they say they like their jobs. Especially to their boss. I'm not just being nice, I said. I really enjoy the work. And you're a good boss, am I? He asked, and there was something almost fragile in his voice. Yes, you are. You're fair. You listen. You don't tell people what to do every second. That's rare. He smiled at that. The first real smile I'd seen all night. Thank you. That means more than you know. Another hour passed. We'd tried the alarm button so many times. Daniel had even tried to pry the doors open with his keys. But we both knew it was useless. I need to tell you something, he said as we sat in the dim light. I have a fear of small spaces. They make me feel nervous. Are you okay? I asked, seeing for the first time that he was breathing a little heavy. I'm managing, he said, but I could see his hands were shaking a little. I need to focus on something else. What can I do to help? Talk to me. Tell me something. About yourself that I don't know. So I did. I told him about my weekend hikes and my love for baking. I told him about my sisters in Ohio and how I moved to Chicago for a fresh start. You're more interesting than I thought, he said with a smile. Thanks, I think. Most people our age are just focused on their careers. You seem to know what's important. What about you? I asked. What do you want from life? Daniel was quiet for a long time. I used to think I knew, marriage, career, kids, the whole package. But after my divorce, he trailed off. I'm sorry, I didn't know. 2 years ago, we just grew apart. Or maybe we were never really right for each other. That must have been hard. But it was also freeing. For the first time, I had to ask myself what I really wanted. And what did you find out? He looked at me then, and the look in his eyes made me hold my breath. That I've been lonely for a very long time. That I forgot how to just connect with people. The air between us felt heavier. Emily, I know this is not right, he said quickly. I know you work for me. I know this is weird, but being stuck here, talking like this, it's the first time. In years I've felt like myself. Not Daniel the boss, just Daniel. I didn't know what to say. Part of me was pleased, part of me was confused, and part of me was realizing my own feelings for Daniel were more than I had let myself think. Can I tell you something else? He asked. I nodded. I've noticed you, not just as someone who works for me. I've noticed how kind you are, how you think about things, how you're just ... real. My heart was pounding. I'm not saying this to make things weird, he said. I've been feeling this for months, and being trapped here, it feels like maybe I should be honest. Honest about what? About the fact that I'm attracted to you? Not just your looks, though. Yes, that too. But to you as a person. I stared at him, shocked. I can see you're thinking, he said with a nervous laugh. And I want you to know nothing has to change. When we get out, we can pretend this never happened. I won't be upset if you want to move to another team. I don't want to move, I said softly. And Daniel, I've noticed you too. His eyes got wide. You have. How could I not? Now I looked at him. His hair was a little messy. His shirt was wrinkled and his professional mask was gone. Now I don't know what to think. He smiled sadly. That's fair. It's complicated. We sat in silence. Then suddenly Daniel gasped. Daniel, what's wrong? I can't breathe right. His fear of small spaces was getting bad. Hey, look at me, I said, moving closer. Daniel, look at me. He looked at me, his eyes full of panic. We're going to be okay, I said calmly. Breathe with me. Okay. In through your nose, out through your mouth. He did it, still shaking. Would it help if I held your hand? He nodded. I reached out. His hand was cold. Better, he said quietly. What if you leaned against me? I asked. He looked unsure. Only if you're comfortable. Okay, he said. He leaned back against me slowly. His breathing got easier. Is this better? Yes, much better. We stayed like that, quiet and close. Thank you, he said. For what? For taking care of me? For not making this weird Daniel. Yeah. What happens when we get out? He was silent. Then finally, I don't know. What do you want to happen? I want to see where this goes, I said. And just then, the elevator jerked. The lights flickered back on. Well, Daniel said with a laugh, shifting his position. That's some timing. The doors opened on the 12th floor. Security and maintenance guys were waiting. You folks, okay. We're fine, Daniel said, standing up. We unloaded the cart in silence, knowing we were back in the real world. Daniel walked me to my car. Emily, he said as I was unlocking the door. Yeah, about what we talked about, ... I held my breath. I meant every word, but we need to be careful. What are you thinking? Let's take it slow. Figure this out. The right way, I'd like that. That Monday, everything was back to normal, almost. The looks that lasted a little longer, the quiet smiles. 6 weeks later, we had our first date at a quiet little place far from the office. It's been 8 months now and we're still together. Daniel had me move to another team, and I even got a promotion. We keep our personal life private, but most people know and they smile. Sometimes when we ride the elevator, he'll hit the stop button for just a second. What are you doing? I'll ask. Remembering, he'll say, and then we'll keep going, together.